But there has been a lot of people that have taken on thought processes, ideologies, and belief systems that have no basis in what reality really is really about. And whether or not you want to respect order is irrelevant, because if you don't respect order, no problem. You're going to get your ass right on up out of here anyway. And it's not going to make a difference what you want, that shit don't even matter. Your ass is out of here. Your days are numbered. And your days are numbered because you can't see what's really going on right now because you're too caught up in your own shit. You can't see the bigger picture. Your ego won't even let you see past it. Your arrogance won't even let you see past it. You don't even have the ability to hear the coded messages that are coming out right now. You can't hear it properly. So this message is only for the people that actually have the ability to hear the message. It is not for anybody else. Now we're in a position right now where there's been, I've been keeping tabs of the earthquake maps heavy. I've been keeping tabs of just different things that are going on, just for my own knowing, to see what's going on, right? And as time continues to progress, you guys are going to see more and more things happening, and you're not going to be able to stop what's destined to happen, because Earth is already splitting. The people are splitting. But let me just say this one thing. Just because you're conscious and you have some self-awareness does not give you access to the 5D. Some of you guys are actually literally born here to live out certain atonements for shit you did in your previous lifetimes. Some of you guys are supposed to suffer and come back here again, because some of you guys are participating in certain activities that you didn't learn before in your previous lifetime. You're supposed to be in this lifetime either atoning or correcting your shit. How do you start that? How many times have I told you this? Go to the shadow. Then get deeper. But I'm going to tell you something. 5D Earth, if you guys seriously think that 5D Earth, that frequency, is going to be tolerating the shit that you see out here with people, you guys got another thing coming. They're going to stay right here. They ain't going nowhere. Trust and believe when I tell you they're not going nowhere. And I want to also pass a message out to you celebrities. Y'all can chop this video down, put it on TikTok. Y'all can specifically do this part right here, but I got to say this one thing. These so-called celebrities that are out here trying to sell your people down the drain, you sitting up here telling lies to your people, so you in bed with that devil who pays your bills, right? Okay, so let me tell you how this is going to go. You need to be careful before you find yourself at the mercy of a 14-year-old ready to take your ass right on up out of here. See, these new kids on the block that's out here right now, we call them cosmic assassins. They were born on this earth to come clean up. And I want you guys to understand something. A lot of these people that are in bed, that are putting out the wrong type of messages, not only do they not inherit 5D, their offspring will inherit 5D. They will be cursed, their offspring will be cursed, and their offspring's offspring will be cursed. That's how that's going. So decisions that you make today, your offspring will pay a price for that in the future. If they even make it through, if your line even makes it through. The children always suffer from the sins of the father. Remember that. Some of you that went out here and plotted against your people for a paycheck, your days are numbered. Mark my words, y'all. Give it to the end of this year, where you're going to start seeing more of this happen, more and more of this happening. You also have these things that I told you that are landing on people's heads and also making them lose their mind, and soon they're going to lose their mind. Have you guys been noticing the people around you that's been losing their mind? Have you noticed how crazy folk been acting out here? And this even goes for you low vibrational women out here. This also goes to you too. Because some of y'all are low vibrational as hell. You're loud, you're disrespectful, and wrong. I just want to let you know you don't inherit 5 of the earth either. Because the mission that all of you should be on should be, how do I get my frequency to match Earth's frequency right now? How do I get my frequency to match hers? How do I seek out higher things? How do I learn more about myself? How do I get to the next level? If that's not your focus, and your focus is being distracted with shit that is low vibrational, that don't have no nothing to nothing, well then, where you're at is where you're going to remain at. And see, let me tell y'all something. I'm not for no debate, and I'm not coming out to debate with folks and argue. I'm not even with the shit. Because see, if you come at me like that, you're going to get silenced, and then you're just going to have to deal with that energy that comes from your head afterwards. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just a messenger. Getting out the message. 12 in the building. I see y'all. You got dudes out here mention my name and shit like that, and then not following through with certain shit that they saying. I see you. I see you. Oh, I see you. You see, you put yourself on my radar and forced me to look dead into you. Wasn't a good look. Not a good look. I'm not here to be anyone's friend. I'm not here for any of that type of shit. I'm in my space, I'm in my mission, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All the rest of that shit that everybody else is on is totally and completely irrelevant to me. I don't care. Now, let me talk about this other thing. So, y'all know I retired from the music business back in 2018. There are certain people that I really rock with that's still in the game a little bit. One of them, his name is Trey the Truth. Trey puts up, him and Tamika Mallory and a group of people decided they're going to go down to the border to see what's going on with the Haitians. Can somebody explain to me how when they got there, and Trey has the pictures up right on his Instagram, he puts the pictures up and he says something weird going on. He said, we get here, there's no Haitians. There were other families there that they went ahead and assisted, but there wasn't any Haitians. So you mean to tell me that all 15,000 people just got the hell on overnight? Is that what happened? How many times have you guys saw me put videos after videos after videos of CGI and how on the green screens and how they can create any kind of background they want to make it look like a specific way when that's not really what's going on, so they can play on your emotions because they want to play on our emotions because they utilize our emotions for their magic. Right? So everybody getting caught up in the whole thing with Haiti. I didn't post the shit to my page because I knew the shit was a farce. I looked into the shit. It's a farce. And then seeing his pictures on Instagram, all that did was prove what I thought from the very beginning, that's a farce. So you mean to tell me that these folks that got on some kind of way, left their country, let's say on paddle boats, came up through South America, hit South America, traveled to get from South America all through Mexico, all the way up to get to the Texas border with no money? Who's doing that? And then on top of that, I'm just saying that the amount of heat that you're dealing with and the terrain that you're dealing with coming in through South America and then coming up the terrain and all of that shit, and you're with kids and shit, right? And you ain't got no money. How the hell did you get to the border? How did you get to the border? To get inside the United States? How did you get there? Who helped you? Who assisted you? Then, when it comes out that they're all going down there, the quote-unquote Black Matters protest, quote-unquote, is going down there to possibly put together a protest, which Trey corrected them and said it was two different organizations that went down there. All of a sudden they get there and there's not a single Haitian there? This is the reason why I never posted anything on my page about it. This is the reason why I didn't get emotional about it. I didn't get emotional about it and I didn't post anything about it because it's not real. There are programs that are put into place to play on our emotions, especially ours. Because see, we're so powerful with our emotions, we have the power to shut all this shit down, but because we haven't done the necessary things to work on ourselves and we're distracted by lower shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, they can take that energy and they can harness it for whatever it is that they need to harness it for. This is the reason why they're always doing stuff like this and showing police killings all the time in mainstream media and videos. And then, did you ever stop to think about those people who are constantly posting this type of shit on their Instagram? You don't see me posting this shit on my Instagram. Because I never want my people to be I don't ever want the energy of my people to be placed in victimhood. So you're going to see me put shit up about our victories. Very rarely are you going to see me put something up there that puts us in a place of victimhood. So then you got to start questioning pages like Sean King. You got to start questioning that shit. You got to start questioning all these other pages of these men that are putting up these pages of everybody, something always negative happening to our people. You have to begin to start questioning this shit because there is an energy here and a narrative here. And just because these people look like you or say that they're representing you does not mean that they're for you. There is a narrative here that's being pushed not just by mainstream media, but by people who look just like you. See, your biggest enemy actually isn't going to be the guy who doesn't look like you. Your biggest enemy is going to be the guy who acts like the guy who doesn't look like you, but he looks like you. That's your enemy. And they may not even understand how they're being utilized by the Matrix. They may not understand that because, see, the Matrix is cold. And how it decides of how it wants to operate and who it wants to affect. The Matrix is very real, and it will utilize whomever, whenever, to get out its agenda across when it comes to us as a people and keeping us in check, especially during this time period whenever we're all currently activating. Now, somebody said one day, well, what powers? Well, baby, if you are asking these types of questions, then clearly you are not on the frequency, in which case that won't happen for you. So if you're not having any experiences as such, it's not for you. Not everybody, this is not going to happen to everybody out here. There is such thing called growth. There is a such thing called maturity. There is a such thing called experiences that you need to have so it matriculates in your growth process so you can come to certain understandings. I do not expect some of you to understand where I'm coming from. You didn't go through the experiences I went through in my lifetime. You weren't there. Okay? So whatever experiences that you guys are having, that is what's going to assist you in ascending as long as you're able to recognize the lesson. So I am questioning, and I'm not talking down on anyone. what I'm doing is I am questioning the narrative that's being projected to us. That is what I'm doing. And everybody should be questioning the narrative that's being directed to us. Everybody should be questioning the narrative. Because you know what I'm realizing? What I'm realizing is there are people that have even hit me down here. Because y'all know I live in Mexico. There are people that hit me down here talking about they heard some other shit. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you people are talking about. If that's going on, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I don't see any of that shit going on here where I'm at. I don't know what you people are talking about. So now, because the war is for your mind, we have to be ever so careful about what we discern out here. Okay? Now, sometimes I might put a post up on my Instagram and I may question something. If there's a concept that's created, you can best believe it's going to eventually come to life. There was a time of day when the concept of the smartphone was talked about back in the 90s. If y'all remember. Remember the commercial about the guy that was hiking in the mountain and he had his smartphone before the smartphones even came out? And then several years later, the smartphones started coming out? If there's a concept of something, that means, regardless of who created it or why it was created, because some of you guys don't understand how this matrix works. You're too busy trying to debunk something that what I'm saying to you is going completely over your head because the shit is being put out into the ethers. In other words, there is no such thing as by accident or by mistake or they were just doing that for this or that shit doesn't exist. If I'm showing you something, I'm letting you know at some point in time, this is the direction of where it's going. Why? Because we are talking something that is hitting the collective consciousness. As soon as it's addressed out there and put out there to the public, it literally hits the energy of the collective consciousness. Then what happens with the collective consciousness? We start talking about it, then it ends up manifesting itself. Remember I told you guys that your mind was technology? Remember that? How they create these machines, these saucers, and everything else that's been created started here first, and then it manifested itself into something, into reality. Remember that? So don't think for 1 second that just because someone created something or edited something or what have you, that thing cannot manifest itself. See, you don't realize how magical you are just yet. You guys are still thinking that you're powerless and shit. You guys are running around here thinking that you have no power, no nothing, and everything is goddamn fairy tale, when all they did was invert the teachings on everything that you know. They inverted the teachings. And you can't even see that the teachings have been inverted and that the teachings have been taught in reverse. You can't see it. Because you've been indoctrinated to think a specific way. If you don't get out of that thinking, you'll never become free up here. And you get mad at people when people can become free up here because you don't understand it. You think the person is crazy. Oh, you're off your rocker. I'm going to tell you right now, there's people I know right now in the music business that I told about this shit, the shit that's happening right now. I told these fools that 15 years ago. And you know what they're doing now? They're hitting me up on the phone saying, you know what? What you're doing right now, this is what you should have always done. Because I've always been conscious even when I was in the music business. Those same Negroes come to me now and want to know what the hell's going on. They're still following me on my Instagram and they hit me up on the DM. Some of them call me on the phone. We have conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, I remember when you was telling us this shit. I specifically remember these conversations when we was in the studio and we was talking about this, that, and the third. And I'm seeing some weird shit go on, fam. I didn't believe you at first. I thought you was crazy. Well, let me ask y'all something. You still think I'm crazy now? Or you still don't see anything? You're still blind. Head still in the sand. You ain't ready to face that real life. Let me explain something to y'all, and you better hear me clear. If you can't even handle, and this is considered to be mundane when you're talking about levels of knowledge, and elevation. If you can't handle this shit right here that's on earth, then you definitely not going to be able to handle shit on the spiritual realm. You damn sure ain't going to be able to handle shit on the galactic realm. Because see, there has to be a certain kind of maturity in place. There has to be a certain type of maturity in place. And for far too long, we live in a country that coddles people and promotes them not taking responsibility for the shit they do. Now we're in the age of Aquarius where everybody has to be held accountable. There is no secret to the current Aquarius. That's why there's so much shit coming out on people right now. That's why you see all the craziness going on right now. It's happening like this because you can't hide nothing anymore. So if you guys are sitting up here thinking, oh, I got some secrets and shit, and I'm going to pray this shit don't come out. Oh, all of your shit's going to come out. It don't matter what level you're operating on, all of your shit's going to come out. It's going to smack you dead in your face, and it's going to keep smacking your face, and you're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again until you learn the lesson. The goal here is to elevate, right? You're supposed to elevate your mind, right? Take ownership of the shit you did, right? Heal from the shit that traumatized you. Learn to incorporate that aspect of yourself. Become a stronger person, and then move to the next level. Y'all be trying to jump the cart before the horse and shit. You ain't did a lick of shadow work, but you sitting up here talking about all this other shit, and you don't even believe half the shit that's coming out your mouth. You out here clout chasing. That's what you're doing. You're out here clout chasing. Because you think that's some cool shit to say or what have you, and you have no idea that the real ones see right through that bullshit. And then when we come out and call your asses out, then you want to get on one about that. This is a time now, people, where if the message isn't coming from a place of love, that's divine feminine. If it's not coming from a place of love, you got to be careful. Be careful about who these people are warring against. Watch what energy they're actually warring against. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. It don't take a rocket scientist for you to figure it out. But see, you don't want to go down that. You don't want to go down that same rabbit hole that they're going down. Because the shit that they're about to start dealing with and the karma that they're about to start dealing with ain't your journey. So you want to be careful about that shit that you're getting yourself wrapped up into. You want to be careful about that. You might want to take a step back and be like, let me see how this makes me feel when I hear the message. Does this feel right to me when I hear the message? Divine feminine. Does this feel right when I go to the heart? Does this feel right when I hear the message? That shit don't feel right to me, fam. It don't feel good. That's your cue. I can be harsh on y'all's asses at any given time, but you know when I'm speaking from here. Because I deal with y'all on a very core, real level. And I don't give a shit about what anybody got to say or think about me. I don't care. And they know I don't give a fuck. That's it. I'm comfortable being in this space. That's why I got this shirt that says, I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay being in that space. I don't want to be for everybody. I'm only here to give you the message, activate you. You take whatever you need to take from it, and you incorporate it to whatever it is or whatever your learning experience on. And if I'm able to assist you in some kind of way, then I did my job, whatever that is. But you always know that when I'm coming out, whether I'm coming off soft or if I'm coming out harsh, you know I'm coming from a place of love. Some of these folks' messages you can hear when they're coming from the ego, when they're coming from arrogance. You'll know it, you'll hear it. And then you're going to feel it. And they can't hide that. There's no hiding that. You can't hide who and truly what you are. What I'm saying to you people is that more and more people are going to be exposed. It's going to get to a point where you see people as they really are, and there's quite a few of them out here that's exposing themselves on a whole nother level. I've never seen in my life be exposed. I mean, goddamn, it's on some Black TMZ shit right now. And the crazy part about it is they're doing it to themselves. Nobody's forcing them to act a fool out here in public. They're literally just out here doing it to themselves. The frequencies, divine feminine energy, dealing with people right in the public, because it didn't came out on their people in the public wrong, so now they getting dogged out in the public right in front of everybody while they think they good, and people are looking at them like they crazy, like they didn't lost their goddamn mind. You're seeing it. You're witnessing it. You're witnessing what's been staring at you in front of in your face the entire time. You're seeing it for what it is. You're not going to be able to close your eyes like this and pretend like you don't see it. You see it. And there was a lot of people that we looked up to in this community that was putting out some really good information at one point, but then I started seeing the real finesse and the real hustle. And I started seeing how when the heat was getting turned up, how they started to unravel. I started seeing that right before my eyes. I'm like, oh no, baby, no, no, no. See, let me explain to you what money does to people. Money doesn't change who you are. It just brings more of who you really are out. That's all it does. That means if you weren't right on the inside and you got money, all of a sudden, all that's going to do is bring more who you are out. You get a lot more followers than you had before. You get a little bit more notoriety than you had before. Yeah, that's bringing more